Hello everybody, Joey the Truth Wagner with you. Welcome into the Truth Serum, folks. Biggest game of the week in the NFL in the 1 p.m. window. And I get to do it with Hollywood. Steelers, Titans, 5-0, the matchup. And more information for this Steelers-Titans preview is coming up next here in the Truth Serum. Well, that's better, folks. I just had to plug in the camera so the battery didn't die. But everybody, just to let you know, for the Steelers-Titan game today, I will be calling it on Hollywood's channel. So make sure you switch over to there for the kickoff at 1 p.m. And the Steelers Nation and everyone out there would really, really appreciate it if you could click the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. But let's get into the meat of this preview. Everybody coming in. Steelers and Titans are two of the three undefeated teams left in the NFL. The other one is the Seattle Seahawks. They are also 5-0. And everybody, both of these teams, Pittsburgh and Tennessee, they are the real deal. Steelers this year have beaten Cleveland, Philly, Houston, Denver, and the Giants. Tennessee, Houston in overtime, Buffalo, Minnesota, Jacksonville, and Denver. And everybody, looking at the injury report this week for both teams, a little bit of encouraging news from earlier in the week. And everybody, if you can remember, on Tuesday when I made my picks with Victor, we spent 15 minutes on this Steeler game alone because it was that difficult of a choice. If you want to listen to some of that, you can go on that video. But everybody, some very, a little bit of encouraging injury news for the Steelers. All-Pro guard David DeCastro will play. He will return. And so will wide receiver Deontay Johnson. He'll be back. But the downfall, fullback and special teamer Derek Watt is out. Steelers cornerback Mike Hilton, the slot corner, he is out. So Cam Sutton will step into his spot. Also, folks, big injury for Tennessee. Their left tackle, their number one left tackle, Taylor Lewan, he is out for the season with a torn ACL. That injury will loom large. But everybody, thinking through this game, folks, and I'll be honest with you, earlier this season I thought Tennessee was sort of like a fool's gold fraud. They're not. They are not. Tennessee is the real deal, especially with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill playing how they are. The Tennessee offense averaging almost 33 points a game, over 430 yards of offense per, and over 150 yards rushing per game. So everybody, Tennessee's offense, their offense is a threat. Their offense is a big, big threat. And everybody, I said this with the Eagles, I said this with Houston. When you're playing really good offenses, they're going to get their plays, they're going to get their yards, and they're going to get their points. So as a defense, when you're facing an offense like Tennessee, key is to get splash plays. That's really the only way that you're going to punch back to their offense, is getting splash plays, sacks, and turnovers. That's how you're going to play well today as a defense for both sides, but especially the Steelers. But everybody, looking here, it is absolutely shocking that I can't believe Ryan Tannehill's this good. I really can't. This year, 1,370 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. Derrick Henry leading the league in rushing, over 5 yards a carry, 588 yards and 6 touchdowns. Gotta watch out for their dangerous deep threat receiver, A.J. Brown. Gotta watch out for their tight end, Juno Smith. They're just threats all over the place. So the offense for Tennessee is great. For the Steelers, their offense is great too. Roethlisberger, extremely smart with the football this year, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. So far, so good for James Conner. 369 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. And Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland have stepped up when necessary. And the Steelers have a plethora of wide receivers who have all taken the turn of being the man this year, whether it's Juju Smith-Schuster, Claypool, Ebron at tight end, Washington, Deontay Johnson. They've all been really good. So everybody, this to me has the makings of an offensive shootout. I see a lot of points being scored in this game. The over-under is 51. I say it's going to be slightly over 51 points. There's going to be a lot of points in this game. But friends, this right here is the key matchup in this game. It is the Steelers' run defense against Derrick Henry. Because the Titans, when they are at their best offensively, when they're at their best, they go through Derrick Henry, they run the rock, and he runs it right down your throat. Houston learned that last week. Henry had over 200 yards rushing, including a 94-yard touchdown run. Also had some receiving yards. So he had 250 yards from scrimmage. Had a huge game last week. But folks, that's the key. If the Steelers can slow down Derrick Henry, keep him to 85 yards and under, Steelers have the big edge in this game. Because then Tennessee has to play offense a little bit with their hand tied behind their back. Because Tennessee, they want to run the ball in the play-action deep game. That's what the Titans do. If you stop the run game, slow down Derrick Henry, it makes the passing game a little more difficult. So that, to me, is matchup number one in this game. Steelers run D against Derrick Henry. It'll be a battle of two elites, because Derrick Henry, the leading rusher, Steelers run defense, some of the best in football. Some of the best in football. They allow 66 yards per game rushing on defense. So that'll be big matchup number one. Here's the second big matchup in this game, folks. And one that might seem small, but it's really big. Tennessee is without their left tackle. Their starting left tackle, Taylor Lewan. That means Bud Dupree, elite pass rusher, going against a backup on Ryan Tannehill's blind side. That's a big key there. That'll help the Steelers in terms of the run defense and getting after Tannehill. So that is big, big time right there. That'll stir the pot right there with no Taylor Lewan. Everybody, I'm looking here. Tennessee's defense, even though Mike Vrabel's their head coach and he's on the defensive side of the ball, that's where he knows his stuff. Tennessee does not have a great defense this year. They don't. They just don't. Their defense is giving up 25 points a game, 285 yards passing per game, and 137 yards rushing. Looking at this defense, folks, and the Steelers' offense, it's going to be a pick your poison. A wide receiver. Someone's going to have a big game for Pittsburgh. Could be any of them. Could be Chase Claypool. Could be Deontay. Could be James Washington. Could be Ebron the tight end. Could be Vance McDonald. Could be Juju. Someone's having a big day catching the ball for the Steelers today. It's just going to happen. Tennessee's defense is not good, and Big Ben will shred them up. And also, if you can get a run game out of James Conner and company to keep Tennessee's offense off the field, you're even better. Even better. But everybody, in terms of special teams this week, as we know, Ray McCloud is a threat. Every time the ball is in his hands for kickoffs, he's a threat. But Steelers have a change at punter this week. They released Colquitt. They released the former Chief Dustin Colquitt. They are re-signing Jordan Berry, but because of the COVID-19 protocols, he can't be on the active roster for this game today. So the Steelers are going with their practice squad punter, and hopefully that turns out okay. Hopefully that comes out fine, because the punter for the Steelers is the holder for Boswell's field goals and extra points. So hopefully there's no concern there. But everybody, after dissecting this game like a frog in high school science class, The offenses, I'll give it a push, because they are both great. Offenses, push. Special teams, slight edge, if that, to the Titans, because they have a regular punter, the Steelers don't, but Boswell's been very good this year. Slight edge to Tennessee on special teams. Defense advantage, Pittsburgh. So we have offense as a push, special teams barely to Tennessee, and defense heavy Pittsburgh. So folks, it's time for me to give you my prediction for this game today. Between this battle, this hopefully game of the year, my prediction will be the Steelers will win. The Steelers will edge out Tennessee by 1. By a point. 1 point. 27-26. Steelers win, and I'm going with Pittsburgh because I think that they'll slow Derrick Henry down enough. And with the Steelers having the healthier O-line, and folks, I just think the injury to the Titans left tackle, Taylor Lewan, is so big in terms of run game and pass protection. I think Bud Dupree going against a backup tackle will determine this game. So there you have it, folks. I'm going with the Steelers 27-26, taking Pittsburgh plus 1.5 points. So Steelers Nation, make sure you're up and ready to go for this one. 1 p.m. kickoff. I'll be on Hollywood's channel with him. And if you haven't yet, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And everybody, for the Steelers game, I will have a big surprise for all of you. Big surprise. You'll see it for the live stream of that. So from the Truth Serum, Joey the Truth Wagner signing off. Have a great Sunday, folks. Hope to see ya for the game.